Hello everyone, how are you? Today I'm gonna share with you guys what are the countries that I think about going to do specialization. So after I finish med school. For those of you that don't know, I am finishing the third year. So I still have 3 more years to go. So obviously a lot can change in 3 years. But for now, those are the options that I have. One good thing about studying in Europe is that your diploma is gonna be valid in a lot of European countries, in the European Union. That gives you a lot of options to countries to go to. But one bad side about Europe is that basically each country has their own language. So knowing just one language allows you to go to maybe only one country. English, for example, you can apply to the UK and to Ireland, and I think that's it. I can't think of any other country that has English as their official language. So those are the countries you can apply to. I still don't know if I would like to apply to Ireland. I haven't thought about that. UK is the process is a little bit different. I was checking it the other day, but now I forgot exactly. But you need to have worked for 1 year before you can apply there. And I think you need to do an exam, but I forgot. I know the UK is not as simple as some other countries. So I would apply to the UK if when I finish med school, I apply to specializations in other countries and I don't get accepted in any. So I would like to work for the year before I can apply again. If that happens, then I'm gonna apply to the UK because then I'm gonna have the 1 year of work. Now I am also gonna apply to Portugal because I speak Portuguese, so I will apply to Portugal. I also think about applying to Brazil just because right now it wouldn't be my first option, but I don't know. I feel like I want to apply and then I'll decide if I want to go back or not. But to Brazil is a little bit different because since I don't have a Brazilian diploma, I will need to do an exam, and then if I pass this exam, then I can apply for specialization there. So I don't know how easy it is because I hear some people saying it's very hard and some people saying it's not super easy, but it's not that hard. So I don't know how hard this exam is. I know there are some prep courses for that because a lot of Brazilians go to Paraguay, Argentina to do their med school and then they want to go back to Brazil. So I know there are courses to help you pass this exam, but I have no idea how hard it is. Then I also think about applying to Italy. The process in Italy is an exam, but I don't know exactly how it works, but I know there is an exam, but your grades also matter. I think if you did Erasmus, it also matters. There are a lot of things that you can earn points for that. So yeah, I'm gonna apply to Italy and also the south of Switzerland because basically I'm gonna apply to the Italian part of Switzerland. I expect at least in a year to be fluent in Italian. I know I've been here for 3 years, but since I study in English, all of my friends speak English, I barely speak Italian. So I didn't really learn Italian fluently. The Italian I need to use is very basic. I don't know, when I'm in the street, I don't really need to speak to anyone. So the things I use is very basic Italian. It's how to ask the price of something, really basic stuff. I know more than the basic, but that's because I learned on my own, not because I'm living in Italy. So But I want this year, like the next year, I want to really focus on learning Italian. So when I feel like I'm fluent in Italian, then I can start learning another language. Because, I mean, as I told you, like the more languages you know, the more options you have in Europe. It's actually crazy to think, like, for example, in America, if you speak Portuguese, Spanish and English, you can go to any country you want, basically. Also French, but only like a part of Canada, French Guiana, I think, that speak French. But in Europe, no, like each country has basically their own language, so you need to know a lot of languages if you want to apply to a lot of countries. So when I finish learning Italian, like when I feel like I'm fluent in Italian, I want to learn another language. Right now, it depends. Like if I manage to learn Italian in 1 year, I would like to learn either French or German. If any of you knows both languages, tell me which one is easier to learn, because I always read French is easier to learn, but the thing about Latin languages that I hate is verb conjugations. There are so many and it's so hard. Like, I mean, in Portuguese it comes naturally to me, but for example in Italian it doesn't come naturally to me, and it's so hard to memorize everything. And even if you memorize everything, there are always irregular verbs, so it's really hard to know verbs conjugation. I really hate learning verbs conjugation. So I thought about trying to learn German, but I know German is also a very hard language, but I don't know which one of those I want to learn. And the reason I want to learn those is because in Switzerland they also have a French and German area. Then I could also go to German or France. And I think Austria speaks German, and there is another, Belgium speaks French. I don't know, like I know German and French are not some other countries other than Switzerland and Germany, so that's why those two languages I want to learn. But if it happens that I take a really long time to be fluent in Italian, let's say then I would have only 1 year to learn another language, I would learn Spanish, because it's very close to Portuguese and to Italian. Like Spanish is in between. So, for example, if someone is talking in Spanish and I'm talking in Portuguese, we can understand each other, even though we are talking in two different languages. And the same thing goes for Spanish and Italian. They can understand each other. But like Portuguese and Italian, we cannot understand each other if we speak our own language. So yeah, Spanish is in the middle. And I have studied in the past Spanish, but I wasn't fluent. So when I started learning Italian, because it's similar to Spanish, I lost all my Spanish. Now, if I try to speak Spanish, I end up speaking Italian. So that's why I need to wait until I get fluent in Italian, until I know proper Italian, and then I can start learning Spanish, or I'm gonna mix everything and it's not gonna work. So if I end up learning Spanish, then instead of German or French, then I'm gonna apply to Spain. In the past, like in my first and second year, I also thought about applying to Australia, but I don't know if I'm gonna apply to Australia. I don't know why I lost my interest for Australia, but I kind of don't think about Australia that much anymore. Oh, and just for information, in German and Switzerland, the process of specialization is basically an interview. So if you have good grades, if you did Erasmus like in Italy, what type of thesis you had, all those things matter in the curriculum. It's also based on that, but it's like a job interview. Now for France, Portugal, Spain, they have exams, and as far as I know, in all of those three countries, you do the exam first and then you choose where do you want to go to. In Italy, what my classmates told me is that you already choose, I think you have 3 options. You put like first, second, and third option, and then you choose the course and the university you want to go to. So yeah, those are the countries I think about going to. And that's it. I hope you liked the video. If you have any questions, any comments, you can do it here. And that's it. Bye.